For the first time in a very long time, the Fall Classic returns to Dodgers versus Yankees. It's been a minute since those two teams have matched up. We're going to preview it. We're going to talk about it. And I'm going to call out all the casual baseball fans in the world because there's a lot of them and they have no idea what the heck they're talking about. So do us a favor, kick back, relax, because bonus episode of 609 Sports Talk presents Hitting Home. It starts right now. And welcome in, everybody, back to another edition of 609 Sports Talk live here on Facebook and YouTube. We are coming to you guys live tonight from our usually off-show segment. Of course, it is called Hitting Home, where this is where all the talk of Major League Baseball will be happening tonight. We figured it was an appropriate time to talk about the World Series, which, of course, starts Friday. And, of course, as always, I am your host, Sam Nelson. And I am joined by the ace of the dueling aces, live every Monday at 8 p.m., Mr. George G3. My friend, how are you on this lovely Tuesday?
It's kind of weird to be on a Tuesday, but I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I used to do shows on Tuesday like a year ago, and now it just feels weird. I'm also not used to doing back-to-back shows. So I'm already better than Joel Embiid. I'll do back-to-back. I wasn't questionable tonight. I was ready to go. So, look, we'll talk about how the Major League Baseball postseason has unraveled so far later on in the show. We'll talk about the star power that is in the World Series again. But, of course, everyone knows now this Friday the World Series kicks off, and it starts in L.A., right?
Yes.
So there's that. But
yeah, they're in LA for the first two games and then New York starting on the following Monday, which pretty much just ticks off the misses because she's looking forward to watching her shows on Fox. But it looks like between Monday through Wednesday, that could totally get derailed. So,
yeah.
Whoops.
Well, here's something that I'm having an issue with, okay? My major issue that I'm having with some of this is baseball fans are too. Here's my problem. I understand that sometimes people get uninterested in baseball. I get that. I can't stand casual fans. That's the one thing I cannot stand. I hate casual fans. So,
right.
I put out 609 puts out posts about, the Dodgers are World Series bound, the Yankees are World Series bound, and I got people telling me this is bad for the sport of baseball.
Well,
how are two of the biggest heavyweights in the sport bad for the sport?
Well, it's the two largest markets, and everybody hates both of them.
Yeah. And guess what, though? People will still watch it because there will be people that hate the Yankees that want to see them lose, and there's people that hate the Dodgers, just like me, that want to see the Dodgers lose.
And the Dodgers are favored by a large margin for some odd reason. They're saying that, the Yankees are the underdogs. Get off it. Come on. You guys are trying to pump up something that isn't there. And no, we're not salty because our team's lost. This is just flat out truth. And I'm glad. I am glad that it's also just not the Subway Series, because then all of America is pretty much out. And you've only got the New York audience watching.
Yeah, I'm not too freaking nuts about not seeing a Subway Series. I thought it would have been cool because we haven't seen it in a long time. But I was down to see Yankees Dodgers. It's not it's like I said, it's New York, LA, two of the most storied franchises in baseball. It's Judge and Ohtani, Betts and Soto, Freeman, and I guess you put Dan as the third guy for the Yankees. Like it's star power written all over the place.
Right.
Now, so
It's
I
something
don't know
for the
where.
it's something for the Hollywood peeps and the New York Hollywood peeps to turn around and be seen and be on TV. You know, they'll spend their money to turn around and be there, and everybody will tune in just to see who's there. They're not going to give a damn about the game. Game one, of course,
Yeah,
I think will be. Yeah, and this is something I wanted to bring up right out the rip, was because game one, Friday, best bet, game one, nothing else is even on. The weather's
nope.
supposed to be a little frigid for us, in the northern section. So yeah, everybody's going to be probably at home sitting there, not a whole lot much to do, and yeah, they're going to tune in for game one. Game two, on the other hand, they're in some trouble. They have to go against Penn State versus Wisconsin on NBC, Miami versus Florida State on ESPN, Kansas State versus Kansas on ESPN2, and just for the S&G, because everybody is really keen on SMU all of a sudden, SMU versus Duke's on the ACC network. So I'm sorry, but game two, you outside of New York and LA, you can kiss those ratings goodbye, because there's a lot for everybody else to watch going across the country flat out.
Yeah, that's the one thing the World Series is always going to struggle with. It's going to struggle with college football. It's going to struggle with the NBA is always starting up. Regardless of people's opinions about the NBA, it's still good. It still has a draw. So
Right. And the big problem is with LA, and everybody's going to be, including tonight, ironically, you got LeBron and Bronny both, playing in LA. And hey, guess what? Everybody wants to see that. And game three, they're kind of hosed. I mean, New York, it's like, okay, pick your poison. Are you going to watch your baseball team lose or your football team lose? Because you're playing the Steelers on Monday night.
yeah,
Russell
right.
Wilson. Russell Wilson. So outside of that, game four is kind of like the next best bet on that Tuesday night to watch, because between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's going to be Halloween parties. So you're going to lose ratings on that. And then the only other time you've got is if there's a game seven on that next week, Saturday, that's your best bet. There ain't a dang thing college football wise on. So they kind of lucked out for a game seven. So
Yeah.
yeah, game one and game seven probably get their best ratings if they need the game seven. Outside of that, good luck. Good luck. I mean, yeah, you could probably shoot for the Monday Night Football, but okay, you'd have games 3 and 4. But the Dodgers are expected to win it in 5, so that's what they've got. Is the checked out the betting odds earlier? Is like the over under betting is sitting right at about 5.5.
The Dodgers
So
don't even know who's going to be starting in game three. How are they winning this series in 5? They don't even have 3 healthy starting pitchers.
You got me. Hey, just looking at what DraftKings and uh um forgive me, it was DraftKings and somebody else. Everybody's got pretty much about the same line. It's 5.5. One had 5, one had 5.5, and Dennis. The fact that Colorado isn't
Dennis
in the
is
top
going off on.
25 yet is
He's
ridiculous, and Miami should be
he's
number 2.
ranting about football and the Sixers. Dennis, I will get onto that on next week's 609
I
episode.
was gonna say Colorado who?
I
Whatever.
was like, what? Yeah, Dennis, I'll get to the Embiid stuff in the Colorado and the AP Top 25 on next week's episode when we talk about the NFL, when we talk about all that stuff. But no,
Yeah.
but now what we
Um,
also have to take, another thing you have to take into consideration with the World Series is the overseas market now because of Ohtani.
mhm.
That's where this is why baseball. Now, look, everyone cheats. First of all, I'm getting real sick and tired of people saying this. Yes, all right. Did baseball want this? Of course they did. They want to make money. Who
Yeah, they
doesn't?
need they need the money, and they need it out of these two markets. They have to get it from these two markets. And that's the only way that they would be.
Now, Dennis,
What?
I'm
Why?
assuming he is referring to the gambling stuff with the interpreter.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
We already rode that bus. We rode that bus
well,
like riding it in speed.
well, Dennis, let me give you my personal opinion on that because I know where you're going with this. I know what name. There it is. You didn't even let me answer it. Dennis, let me explain to you why that's not going to happen. Because now that Major League Baseball can legally make money on it, now it's okay. And what makes me sick now is he had a lifetime ban. Now he'll be put into the Hall of Fame.
Well, everybody said it would they would wait until he died and then he'd get in.
Exactly. It's a
And
joke.
guess what?
It's
now he's dead. Guess what will happen next year? He'll get in.
Oh, he's absolutely getting in next year. He's absolutely getting in next year.
I said the only person who's not getting into an HOF after passing away is Art Modell.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He's absolutely getting in next year, and it's sickening. But now,
oh Jesus.
But yeah, so baseball is going to fully take advantage of that market with Ohtani. We knew that from the start. We all knew that's where their viewership's going to come from as well. In the U.S., yeah, it may be down a little bit because, like you said, college football, the NFL, the NBA, hell, even hockey started. And I don't want hockey to go by the wayside here because I've unfortunately made myself watch the Flyers for about a week and I'm already sick and tired of them. But
I was going to say, didn't you go to a game?
Yeah, I want to talk about it.
Oh, sorry.
Dennis, leave me alone, okay? I told you I would have it ready for next Monday's show. This show is supposed to take place Thursday, okay? I will have it ready by next Monday. Leave me alone. It has been a hectic week, okay?
I mean, geez.
Dennis does this to me every week. He does this every week to me, and I love it. Dennis, I love him.
This took a while to create. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, it can, but I mean, you ought to see the rest of The Office. I mean, Sam has seen the rest of The Office through the camera before, but yeah, this is only half of what The Office looks like.
Dennis, I'm not respecting. I'll respect my elders, but that's an inside joke between me and him,
right?
But now, let me ask you this: these teams to me match up well with each other. Neither of them have a strong starting staff. The Yankees have a more healthy starting staff. I'll say that. But Garrett Cole this year has not looked like Garrett Cole. Usually after elbow injuries start happening, some pitchers don't look the same. He's still throwing it hard. He's still throwing it, but he doesn't look like the Garrett Cole that I'm used to seeing. He's not there yet. Carlos Rodon he's either up here or he's all the way down here. He's out of the screen. One day you can get 6, 7 innings, 9 strikeouts. Next game, you're getting 6 walks and 5 earned runs off it. So that's where I'm going to go with that. After that, they do have the advantage in terms of Luis Gil, who was their young fireballer who won in 15 games this year, and Marcus Stroman, who is, I don't even think Stroman's pitched in the playoffs yet. They have the potential to be healthier with their rotation in the World Series. Now, the Dodgers, on the other hand, it's Jack Flaherty, who looked absolutely terrible against the Mets in Game 5. Now, granted, he was battling a cold, I guess they could say. And then you have Yamamoto, who is still, the Dodgers are still got him on a short leash. Dennis, I'm not answering your question. But after Yamamoto, they've been bullpen gaming it. Yes, they have Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler has not looked good at all in like a year and a half. Tommy John has ripped him to shreds. So outside of that, the Yankees, to me, have the advantage in this series because they have the ability to put their starting pitching ahead of the Dodgers. Because after, the Yankees, they already announced Garrett Cole's going Game 2. So I'm sure Carlos Rodon's going Game 2. Game one. Cole's going game one. My mistake. Cole's going game one. Rodon's probably going to go game two. Game three, will it be Gill? Will it be Stroman? I don't know. But the Dodgers will go. They already announced that Flaherty's going game one. And then Yamamoto is going to be probably game two. And then after that, I guess, are they going to try to bullpen game this thing until they can get Flaherty on decent rest? Because I don't know how the Dodgers are going to be able to freaking deal with this, because the Yankees bullpen, it's rested. And the Yankees also have Clark Schmidt, who could also start one of the games.
Well, everybody's rested, and actually the Dodgers are more rested than the Yankees. And the Dodgers, offensively, they were exposed by the Dodgers this season pretty well. So I don't think that there's going to be too much of an issue, and I see why the Dodgers are favored so well. So, yeah, again, it's boring as all get out. You know, you got the teams that are, I mean, these guys are literally going to be doing cross-country flights, which is going to seriously suck on both ends of the spectrum. LA's got the good jump, being that they're at home first. So they didn't have to make the first flight. New York does. And especially after having to deal with Cleveland being so snotty, annoying, and exhausting for them. So I think New York's just gassed. And I don't think New York's going to be New York. And that's why I think, yeah, it'll be done in 5. I kind of see where everybody's coming with that. Hey, one thing I know about Vegas, they're usually not wrong. Usually.
Now, the one thing I will give the Dodgers, people think this doesn't matter, but people are like, oh, well, they have a veteran team. They're good. Like a 2022, right? Oh, the Phillies have veterans. They've been around a long time. Yeah, but the Astros were in 3 World Series before that. They've been there. They've done it before. No one on that Phillies team had been to a World Series. The only one that was there was Kyle Schwarber. Bryce Harper never was in a World Series. JT Realmuto was never in a World Series. That experience of doing that it matters. In this situation, being in those big games matter. Like the Chiefs. The Eagles were going toe-to-toe with the Chiefs in that Super Bowl. Chiefs were in the Super Bowl. They know what it took. Eagles only had a few select players that have been in one. Experience in big games matter. So, now Anthony and I are in an agreement here that he thinks the Yankees have better pitching. I agree, because I don't think that the Dodgers have the pitching to compete with the Yankees, because I just don't think they're healthy enough. But if you look at the Yankees, right, who's been in a World Series? Garrett Cole. I don't think any of their other pitchers. I don't think Rodon hasn't been in the one. Stroman hasn't been in one, unless I'm forgetting something.
Judge, Rizzo.
Rizzo's been in one. And Soto's been in one.
Thought Judge was too.
No, the Yankees have never gotten to the World Series with Aaron Judge. They've been to the ALCS. That's it.
All right. Okay, it must have been after. Yeah.
This is the first World Series the Yankees have been in since 2009.
Gotcha. All right. For some reason, I thought Judge was there. He's not that old.
Yeah, right. I was holy crap. How old do you want to make this guy? But yeah, Juan Soto is the only, and Anthony Rizzo are the only 2 that have been to a World Series. Now, if you go look over the Dodgers, I'm going to bring up 2 points of the Dodgers. Sticking on my big game scenario here, guys who have been to a World Series on the Dodgers. That's easy. Freaking Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy. They've all been there. Chris Taylor, Kike Hernandez. These guys have, don't tell me guys like Kike Hernandez and Will Smith and Tommy Edman don't matter. Tommy Edman won the NLCS MVP. The dude hit 400 with 11 RBIs. The Dodgers get this is the point I'm trying to make, though. With guys that have been in the biggest moments like that, they step up. Yeah, Clint. Yes, Clint. I did bring up Garrett Cole. I know Garrett Cole's been to a World Series. Also lost it too. But that's not here nor there. I'm just saying. But yeah, but like the Dodgers used the regular season. Betts had a solid year. Ohtani was the best hitter in the game. But then it's the guys behind them. It's Kike Hernandez. It's Tommy Edman. It's the other guys that flipped that switch in October. Like Kike Hernandez was average this year. In 126 games, he had 229. In the postseason, he's hitting 303. Tommy Edman didn't play a game this season until the second half. He only appeared in 37 games for the Dodgers because he hadn't played a game at all for the Cardinals. He played in 37 games, he had 237. In 11 postseason games, Tommy Edman is hitting 341 with 12 RBI. They are getting contributions from everywhere in that Dodger lineup. Will Smith, I don't know what he's actually. He actually made. Now he's actually struggling in the postseason. He's only hitting 160. That's a shock. And Max Muncy still comes up with freaking mammoth home runs whenever you need him to. I can't stand Max Muncy is basically. I'm just convinced Max Muncy will be the guy who replaces Kyle Schwarber with the Phillies in 3 years. And a lot of this has come with some of their other bigger guys not performing. Like I said, Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah, he's driven in 8 runs, but he's only batting 200. So he's not having the greatest postseason. Andy Pages, their young center outfielder, he's only hitting 211. So, and
I was going to say, at least Gavin Lux is doing a little bit better than that. Not by much, but he's doing a little better.
Yeah, Lux is batting. Yeah, Lux is actually day to day right now with a hip problem.
Yeah, but it's like that dude. Get some injections, ice that sucker, and get moving.
Anthony, I have said this from the damn start of the season. After Juan Soto was traded to the Yankees, I said this is great. Aaron Judge finally has his guy that can protect him in the lineup or get on base for him. Here's the problem. They're not going to do anything unless somebody else provides offensive production for them. So, Giancarlo Stanton, this postseason, 294, 385 on base, 1179 OPS, 5 homers, 11 RBI. And also, but that's not, see, to me, the bigger story with Stanton is this. In 39 plate appearances, he has only struck out 7 times. For a guy like Giancarlo Stanton, that is amazing. But no, this will be the battle of whose third hitter can do more damage.
Yeah.
And, of course, now we also have to pay attention to the health of Freddie Freeman, because Freddie Freeman is having a very rough time with that ankle. I mean,
yeah, he's day-to-day, too.
Yeah, he didn't play in Game 6. Just remember that. He didn't play in Game 6. They were staying in San Diego.
I don't think he needed to play in game. I think they knew that they had Game 6, and it was just like, hey, look, let's give you more time off, because they know they're going to need him in the World Series. Flat out.
Yeah, and again, but like I said, when you're getting production from Kike Hernandez and the Tommy Evans, you're able to do this. It also helps that you have Shohei Ohtani. And also, nobody, and I don't care what, I have gone in every social media thing I could find. Nobody is talking about the postseason that Mookie Betts is having. He's like the forgotten guy.
Here's something scary. And I don't know what the situation. I mean, the situation can technically arise. And it would shock. I mean, if you want to make ratings, you would shock the world What if Ohtani ends up pitching?
I still don't think it happened.
We're pulling out hypotheticals. What if he ends up pitching?
That could be dangerous.
That would be. If I'm the Yankees, I'm sitting there going, "Really? Wow, we didn't see this coming." Hello,
We haven't
I'm
game.
sorry,
We
but
haven't
when
game
you've
plan
got
for this in 3 years.
when you have that weapon, you're in the World Series, and you have that weapon.
Clint's is saying that experience makes a difference. Take the Guardians Cubs World Series Game 7 during the delay. Lindor took a nap while Zobers kept the Cubs motivated, ready to play. Did that actually happen? Did Lindor actually take a nap?
Like I said, if that happens, one, it shocks everybody. But two, if I'm the Dodgers, I am keeping that. Anthony. That's right. It's the World Series, dude.
Yeah.
There's nothing that says he cannot be the pitcher. There is nothing, not a damn thing that says that he cannot pitch.
No.
All the rule states for him is that it has to be designated before the game starts what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Wouldn't that be a swift kick in the nuts? You're sitting there wondering about game 3. I think the Dodgers are going, shh. we have something in mind. And it's like, baby, if you need it, and if it drags on and you're sitting in game 7 and you're getting down to the nitty gritty and you need that, yeah, you might have to pull that ace out of your sleeve and go, yeah, here you go. Try this guy on for size.
Is that
Good
pulling
luck.
an ace out? Was that a pun? Pulling an ace out of your sleeve? Is that a pun there?
Hey, what can I say? Hey, that would be very interesting. And like Anthony said, it's the World Series, dude. I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm pulling out all the stops.
That's a great scenario by Anthony. If it's game 7.
Oh, yeah. You'd literally, you would shock the world. You're like, oh, yeah, by the way, Shohei's pitching. What? Yeah, everybody on the Yankees lineup just goes, really? We're not prepared for that. No kidding. Exactly. You're not prepared for that.
No.
How
hey,
can
you know what
you
they
be?
say, right? You know what they say, right? Anything's possible in a game 7.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask the Mets fans that if they would have actually gotten there. Well, I have my own issues with the New York Mets and their fan base. The first thing I have an issue with them is they're sitting there acting like we weren't supposed to be here. We're all this. We're a Cinderella team. You
Cinderella,
have the highest.
My foot.
No, the Tigers were a Cinderella team.
Yes.
You can't listen. And I said the same thing about the Phillies in 2022. You can't be a Cinderella team when you have a $300 million payroll. You cannot be a Cinderella. You cannot be a Cinderella team. When you have the highest payroll in baseball. And that's the other thing that cracks me up with baseball fans that are complaining about this whole World Series. Like, oh, this is just the teams that buy their rings. Buy their rings? All right, first of all.
What?
Let's play some games here, okay? You want to make the case that the Dodgers have a tendency to do that? Whatever. But last time I checked, the Dodgers drafted Walker Buehler. They drafted Clayton Kershaw. They drafted. Give me 1 second here.
I was going to say the Mets being a Cinderella team is like a fart in the wind. It blows by a little too fast, and it really stinks. Right.
And I get people are saying that, all right, if you want to say the Dodgers are trying to buy a ring, okay, their 3 superstars didn't come from their organization. Is it their fault that 3 organizations didn't want to pay these guys?
I'm sorry, Soto. Last time I checked, you didn't get him through your organization either.
Yes, that is true. But the Yankees did develop. They did develop Judge. They did develop guys like Austin Wells and Jose Trevino, their catchers. They did. The Yankees got more homegrown talent on their roster than the Dodgers do. But the Yankees have developed in the past. People just don't want to admit it. Here's what you're supposed to do, right? When you're an organization, you're supposed to develop from within, and then when you're ready to win, you bring someone in to bring it over the top.
Yeah.
The Houston. Look at the Astros. Bregman.
No.
Altuve.
We're not talking about the cheaters. Don't talk
No,
about the
just
cheaters.
listen to me for a second. I understand we don't like talking about them, but listen. They developed Bregman. They developed Altuve. They developed Correa. They developed Springer. And then when it was time to go win, that's when the Garrett Coles, the Justin Verlanders showed up. But even then, they still developed pitchers. They got Framber Valdez and freaking Christian Javier. Don't get mad at the game. Don't hate the players. Hate the game.
Yeah. Oh, I hate the game. All right.
And first of all, baseball. I don't want to hear other owners saying this isn't fair. Let me explain baseball 101 real quick, in case anyone needs to know.
Who said it's not fair?
Because you just hear me out. Because you have teams like the Pirates saying, "Well, we can't give Shohei Ohtani $700 million." Hear me out. When you're a Major League Baseball organization, right? What draws fans? Winning.
Big names and winning.
Winning.
Oh, damn. I knew this was coming.
I'll get there in a second. Okay? But no, what draws in fans? Winning. What draws in winning? Signing good players. What brings in good players? Money. But let's go back. What draws in fans? Winning. What do fans bring? Money. Do you think John Middleton was making that much money with the Phillies from 2012 to 2020? No. But when they signed Bryce Harper, and the Phillies were not spending money at all for a decade, and the Phillies were in a worse position than some of these teams. The Phillies don't develop young talent well at all. But when you signed Bryce Harper, the Phillies have probably made more just from the last 3 Octobers than they did in a decade since the last World Series they won.
Sure.
So if you want to win, go spend money. Sorry, I don't feel bad for billionaire owners who claim they don't have money to spend. And first of all, another thing, and my friend Alex, who used to do 609 on me, I will fight him this from a day. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap. Nope. Anyone that says, and the luxury tax, it's no. Forget it. Yep. This is all about owners being cheap. If they don't want to win, then they're not going to win because they're not going to spend money. It's your problem then. Then you're going to sit there, you're going to win 70 games, you're going to be the laughing stock of your division. Why is that our fault? Why is that the Phillies' fault? Why is that the Mets' fault? Why is that the Dodgers' fault? Why is that the Yankees' fault? Is it the Dodgers' fault that the Angels have no idea how to put together a good team? Because guess what? I hate to break you the news. The Angels are in the same market as the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. And they have a guy named Mike Trout that they can't turn around and, ironically,
Brian, you're lucky I love you.
You just had to bring that in right now. You can't build anything around Mike Trout either. Yeah, we totally. I mean, granted, one made it further than the other, but still.
Oh, Clint, I don't know if I can go through that right now. Maybe in a few months after they maybe have switched their team around, but I'll go give it a shot and look at it. I can tell. Well, look. Since we're doing this right now, I can tell you because George, we haven't talked baseball since the postseason started.
Right.
The reason, first of all, let me explain something. The Mets, give them credit what they did to the Phillies, but the Dodgers beat the Mets because they did something that the Phillies did not. And I want to give the Mets credit. So Brian, you may want to stick around. The Mets, and now this is the insult part. The Mets bullpen is not good. It's outside of even Edwin Diaz is not Edwin Diaz right now. He's still a little spotty. Ryan Stanek is not that very good. Phil Maton, I could hit off Phil Maton easily. The Mets did a good job this postseason of hiding their bullpen because they had a really solid starting rotation. Manaea, up until Game 6, was lights out for the second half of the season. Luis Severino had a resurgence with the Mets. Was he Yankee Severino? Not at all. But the reason that the Dodgers beat the Mets is they did something the Phillies didn't. They were patient at the plate. Now, by Game 4 of that series, by Game 4 of the NLCS, the Dodgers had walked 30 times. They had 2 more games to play. Do you know how many times the Phillies walked against the Mets in 4? 16. The Dodgers, in the same amount of games in a 7-game series, doubled the amount of walks the Phillies had in a 5-game series. That's why the Philadelphia Phillies are watching the World Series from home. Because the Philadelphia Phillies cannot stop chasing pitches 40 feet away from their bat. That's the problem with the Philadelphia Phillies. And it will not change until they realize that those 9 guys are not good enough. The rotation has got promise still. Nola Wheeler, you couldn't ask for a better 1-2 punch. Sanchez easily developed one of the best underrated starting pitchers in the game. I still got my concerns about Ranger Suarez, and now I get a damn article saying that Taijuan Walker is going to compete for the number 5 spot. I'm going to have high blood pressure by February.
I was just saying, as far as Cleveland goes, the closing pitcher got exposed. The people watch the film. It's all about watching film, and you watch film on a guy long enough, you're going to turn around and pick up his tendencies. And New York pulled that off.
You guys have Austin Hedges to blame for this.
Well,
because that fool, and I'm sorry, he's a fool for this. He went on Talking Yanks or Talking Baseball and said that Emmanuel Clase was the greatest pitcher of all time.
Yeah, that's the kiss of death right there.
Well, first of all, Austin Hedges doesn't hit enough to be able to be on Talking Baseball, first of all. I don't think I saw Austin Hedges hit the freaking ball at all. All I'm saying is...
We also had the Naylor brothers who just kind of disappeared as well. So
what did I tell you when we did the show a few weeks ago? If it's not Jose Ramirez, it has to be Josh Naylor, and it ends up turning out being mostly David Fry with a bad elbow.
And Noel, too. I mean, you had a couple other guys step up.
Oh, Brian, you guys need some starting pitch. Brian, I think you guys need more of a relief pitcher than a starter. I like your rotation. Senga's going to be healthy next spring, so there's your guy. There's your top guy. Manaea can opt out, but I'm pretty sure the Mets will want to bring him back. I would bring Manaea back. I wouldn't be too crazy. I would not mind if they kept Quintana, and I'm not crazy about Luis Severino. So, and David Peterson pitched really well in the second half for them. So they could use some depth at starting pitching, yes, but you guys need to go find some relief help because Ryan Stanek, Phil Maton, those guys ain't going to do it. Like I said, the Mets did a very good job with the Phillies by hiding their bullpen arms away from those bats. Because if you kind of look at the Mets bullpen, the Phillies actually scored most of their runs off their bullpen, especially in that Game 2, which was a great game. But that's the reason the Dodgers beat the Mets and the Phillies didn't. The Dodgers got on base and they were fine. But, okay, you know what? Pay no attention to that last comment. It's been blocked on Facebook, but I can't get it off a restream. But I hate crap like that. They've been blocked on Facebook.
Those things suck.
Well, they've been blocked on Facebook already, so it don't matter. So Clint said that the collapse has to do with the 2011 Phillies post-Howard injury, but I think it ties to your mentions on why the Phillies haven't really spent much money before the signing of Harper. I can gladly give you that right now. The problem was the Phillies. Here's the problem what happened with the Phillies. If Ryan Howard doesn't get hurt, they probably have 2 more good years left on that team. Even with Utley getting older and Rollins getting older, Ryan Howard was the tank that drove that team. Because I think we could all agree, right? Y'all ain't who was pitching to Ryan Howard in his prime?
Jesus, that's what, 2011?
Who would pitch to Ryan Howard in his prime?
Randy Johnson.
He was one of the.
Randy
Yeah,
would.
well, Randy was, yeah, but Randy was, no, I'm saying like when Howard was in his prime, who back then was, like, you just, managers didn't pitch for the guy. So when the lower leg started, because you got to remember, usually after you tear your Achilles, something else happens. Look at Klay Thompson. Tore his ACL, then he tore his Achilles. Something in the lower leg always happens again. Howard tore his Achilles in 2011, comes back in 2012, actually plays decent in the second half of the season when he came back. Started out very well in 2013, then he tore his meniscus in his knee and he was out for the season. The problem with the Phillies back then, and to basically answer everything Clint is saying, is they didn't develop young talent to take over Jimmy Rollins, to take over Chase Utley, to take over Ryan Howard. The Phillies have Utley, Howard, and Rollins were the only three guys in the modern day that they really developed to be a core. The Phillies now are in that mode where I think they can sign free agent talent, which they have, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, and they can develop some solid young talent. Alec Boehm, who I still can't stand right now, Bryson Stott, Johan Rojas, a very good defensive center fielder, Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez. I think they've kind of hit a balance there. I hope at least. But the Phillies' collapse was they held on to Utley, Howard, and Rollins too long. And they tried to win with them when they were in their age 34, 35 seasons, and Howard's lower legs were gone, and Chase Utley had tendonitis all through his knees for years, and he couldn't get away from it. Jimmy's bat speed went down, and it was just time. They had to go through a really rough stretch, and Bryce Harper has saved them from that. Bryce Harper came here. He took a gamble on the team, because honestly, the Phillies weren't that good of a team when he signed here. The best mark they posted after 2012, before Bryce signed here, was 80 and 82 in 2018. They weren't blowing the doors off and starting to knock the door down and say, hey, we're ready to spend big again. Bryce Harper took a gamble. Now the front office has been willing to spend, and it's helped them. But now they got to figure out what's the next step, because Bryce Harper, yes, he is still in a decent spot in his career at 32, but you need to maximize this. If the Dodgers win the World Series, if I'm a Dodgers fan, Shohei's contract for the rest of the time doesn't matter because he brought them a World Series.
Right.
Juan Soto, he could re-sign with the Yankees because I've heard the report came out today that Soto will not reach the contract that Ohtani did.
No.
Well, he doesn't pitch, so he doesn't pitch, so of course he's not going to. But if Soto signs back with the Yankees, but they win the World Series, that contract is worth it because he helped them bring a World Series. I said the same thing for Bryce Harper. The Phillies could win one World Series in those 13 years, but guess what? It's worth it. But they need to maximize. People need to understand Bryce Harper had 1,000 OPS in that Mets series. Did he come up with the big hits in every at-bat? No. But he came up a lot bigger than some of these other guys. If you take out Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos out of that series, the Phillies literally hit like 130 as a team. If you take out those two. JT Realmuto didn't have a hit in the series.
Matt, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think Santander makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
that seems like a
Torkelson's got first base pretty much locked up.
Yeah, I'm not. I know. I know. What they could DH?
You're not.
DH
you're not making. You're not making Alonso a DH.
Why not? Why not? The Phillies did it with Bryce Harper.
Dude wants to play. He wants to play ball.
He
just doesn't want to sit on the bench. That's not Pete. I don't think he's ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Clint, there's a plethora of teams. The thing is that the Mets are the ones who have the money to do it. Seattle could pull it off, but they'd really be strapped. The Padres would be above and beyond too strapped. The Giants are not a winning squad.
Well,
the Red Sox, not a winning squad. The Yankees,
could be.
The Yankees could technically just dump off Rizzo and everybody else. And yeah, I wouldn't be too thrilled And I think a lot of different New York fans would be really ticked off if he went
I
to
could now.
the other side of the subway.
I could see Alonso if they, for some reason, fail to re-sign Soto.
Dude, I like that jersey the way it is. I
Hey,
don't want to
what
have to
about?
I don't want to have to burn that jersey, okay?
Hey,
I
what
don't
about?
want to have to burn that jersey.
I'm going to get laughed at so bad by you and Clint. What about Cleveland?
I'm sorry. That would actually take our owners actually spending money. No, wrong group. Sorry, our owners don't do that shit. That shtick don't
I'm
work
just
in
saying.
Cleveland. Our
I'm
owners
just.
don't pay for anything. Remember that? Our owners don't pay for nothing. They pay for nothing. They try to win with the what they've got, and if it's not good enough, I mean, look at Tito. Tito all of a sudden is coming back next year. He's only had 1 year off. Come on, man. Cleveland
Yeah,
ownership. Cleveland ownership in their sports franchise teams, outside of one, it sucks.
I was just suggesting. Okay, got
Yeah.
to jump down my throat.
Trust me, from your lips to God's ears, we would love it.
Yeah, that's a great
And
pick.
it would, and again, like you said, with Philly, you guys brought in Bryce Harper, you packed the house. Dude, they bring Alonso they bring hell, they bring Soto, Alonso, anybody. They bring any name into this park. It'll pack the place again. But
I
no,
also think.
our owner's too stupid. The Cleveland owner is too stupid to do anything smart, like spend money. Yeah,
Well, I
like,
mean, did
oh,
they
to
just?
spend money to make money. Oh, that's a bunch of crap. No, dude, you have to. Yeah, see, yeah, Clint, you're right on it. Because
Yeah.
I thought I saw that too, Clint. I know I heard I know I saw a tinkering on that earlier, and I was like, that would be interesting. But yeah,
You know what?
no,
Another.
that's not the Cleveland way. Oh, I'm sorry. The whole spend money to make money. Yeah, the Browns. Yeah, we won't get into that. That no, it's intelligent spending of the money is what you'd have to look at. But again, we've got stupid owners. It
Not
seems like
everyone has a.
our basketball ownership is the only intelligent thing in this town, along with
Yeah.
a minor league hockey team. I mean,
A minor league.
hey, they got a championship. The basketball team got a championship. What do the Indians and the Browns have? Nothing.
Yeah. Now, Matt's also saying that the Tigers aren't fully sold on Torkelson as a first baseman. That is also the case. Torkelson has struggled, but I
But
personally,
he's not that bad off.
no, I think he could still use more of the plate appearances to get himself right. I think Santander, Matt, makes more sense to the Tigers than Alonso. Personally, also, I don't think the Mets are going to let Alonso leave.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he stays right where he's at.
Another team. Yeah, Anthony, I've heard the Yankees for Santander too because they would need an outfielder if they lose out on Soto. Because of course, where does everybody when you hear Juan Soto outside of the Yankees, where do you keep hearing Juan Soto? The Phillies.
Well, and that's because of Harper. It's like you kind of
That
want to go
and
back. You go with
it,
Harper. You got Trey Turner there. You've got your boys, and you just
and you
turn
got
around and
Kevin
start.
Law.
Yeah, you just start hanging back with your boys, and you're just on another squad, and that actually that would be just perfect for the Phillies. I wouldn't
That
be
would
mad
actually.
at it. I wouldn't be mad at it at all.
Oh, why wouldn't I? Wouldn't be either. I just don't know how realistic it actually is. That's my point. Because
Well,
because here's the thing, right? If you get Soto, someone's got to go. Whether it's Schwarber, Castellanos, Marsh, someone's got to go.
Castellanos can definitely be exposable.
But here's the problem with JT Realmuto declining. If you get rid of Castellanos, then you're really lefty heavy with Schwarber, Harper, Soto. You're really getting tight up there with lefties. I think Schwarber would be the more obvious case there because of him being a left-handed hitter.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of funny on how all of a sudden, you know, the whole thing was trying to get a whole lefty, almost get a whole bunch of lefties. And then now it's like, well, now you don't want a whole bunch of lefties. Now you want to go back to getting a whole bunch of righties. And it's like, guys, make up your mind.
Matt says that he honestly thinks that Kerry Carpenter broke Class A. He may have, because ever since that home run, he hasn't been the same.
Oh, like I said, it's film. If you watch a guy's film enough, you're gonna be able. And I know that this is a thing because I've gone through. I don't, Sam. I don't know if you guys have this at all, but we do here over in Cleveland. You can actually take a tour of the stadium when they're not
Huh?
playing. When you get the tour here in Cleveland, they take you all around through, a lot of the cool, club sections and whatnot, but they take you through the dugouts. They take you through the underground and in the back of, behind the dugouts and everything,
Yeah.
where there's during the game, you can actually go into the indoor batting cages that are right behind the dugouts.
Uh-huh.
And they have a virtual reality screen up with a hole. There's a hole in it, and this pitching machine will actually be assigned and programmed to throw the pitches that the opposing pitcher you are pitching or playing against will throw to you. And the machine does this. It'll throw cutters, sliders, curveballs, fastballs. And this is apparently a whole thing that all of these teams have access to. And they've got this thing back there. So if that's the guy that you're focused on, that, hey, we know we're going to be facing this dude, we are going to, yeah, Clint, exactly. But if you know that that's what you're going to be going against, and you're watching and you're going through enough of the virtual reality of this guy's pitches, yeah, you're going to get eaten. The pitcher's going to get eaten alive.
Now, Matt asks me a very interesting question about JT. Is it time to start looking for a JT Realmuto replacement? In my opinion, it is. Because here's the thing. JT Realmuto's offensive production has been going down every year since 2021. 21, he was really good. 22, he was still good. Last year, it dipped a little, and then this year, it really dipped. But my concern with JT Realmuto, he is a 34-year-old catcher coming off of a year where he had to have small meniscus surgery in his knee that lingered and kept him to only playing 99 games. I said after the season was over, the Phillies need one of two things. They either need a youth movement, which they're not going to go fully because they have too many veteran players, or they're going to need to have an injection of new blood. And honestly, the first guy I would like to see, I think it is time to move on from JT Realmuto. I get he's the best catcher in baseball. I get all this. Eventually, guys are going to go. And they have to be, you have to know that. Eventually, guys are going to go.
I don't think he's at the Buster Posey drop off area just yet. I mean, would I get another guy getting ready? Yes.
They have it. They already have it. That's Rafael Marchand. Marchand has a cannon of an arm. He's pretty damn good behind the plate, and he's actually been a pretty good with the bat in limited time last year. If I were the Phillies, I would find a team to take the final year of JT's contract because it's this year coming up. He's a free agent. I don't care. Let Marchand go into the spring as the starting catcher, but sign a veteran who, if I had to, I could put in for 100 games, and I could split him and Marchand like that if for some reason. You cannot continue, because the biggest problem here with this, I've said this to Matt, I've said this to you. They cannot run this back next year. If they run this back, they're approaching Sixers territory of the fan base not trusting them. You got to get rid of somebody. And I'm going to get rid of the guys who were my least productive players in that Mets series. JT Realmuto at the plate looks unmatched. He looks like he can't hit anything anymore. It is time to start getting. JT's a guy I could see going. I can see Brandon Marsh going. I don't care that he's only 26. He's a platoon player. That's the problem with the Phillies. They don't have enough platoon everyday players. I don't like the fact that Bryson Stott's a platoon player, but Bryson Stott is a Gold Glover at second base. I don't care what he hits. I would like him to be better. I hope next year I get the 2023 Bryson Stott to hit 280, but the guy is so damn valuable at second base, he will make up for it. JT Realmuto is a 35-year-old catcher. We're approaching Jake Taylor Major League territory.
Well, the problem is you're also looking at, trying to go grab a free agent, vet to back him up. And it's like, guess what? All you got out there is 35 and 36-year-old free agents. Oh man, I can't even get his last name.
Higashioka?
Yeah, from the Padres.
But,
he's
that's
35.
But
George is 36.
George, my point
Jansen's 30. You want Danny Jansen?
But that's my point. They're not going to be my starter. I'm going into the season with Marchand as my starter. He's 25. That's my point. But if I had to start the guy, if I wanted the veteran in a postseason over, if something happened with Marchand, I could have him there. But I wouldn't need to rely on a 35-year-old playing 140 games a year. If someone thinks JT Realmuto is going to play 140 games next year, you're crazy. And that's the other problem. The backup, Garrett Stubbs is not good enough to be a backup catcher. He's not good enough behind the plate, and he's not good at all offensively. That's why JT, I know people are talking about vibes and this. Fuck the vibes. The vibes, you know what the vibes have done? 3 straight times the bats died in the postseason. That's what your vibes are. Garrett Stubbs is good for about 20 games a year. JT's going to be 35. You need a catcher who can back him up, that can give you production both behind the plate and at the plate. And he does not do that. They need to address the catcher room. Because here's why I'm just going to do it. Are you going to re-sign him after next year? No. So what's the point? Maybe you could find some type of low, decent relief arm on the trade market for him. I don't know. But if you're not going to re-sign him, let Marchand get that chance. Marchand has looked good up here when he played when JT was on the DL. Give him the chance. They have to get younger and better and cheaper, because if you're going to want to get Juan Soto, you're going to have to get cheaper in some areas. Look at the Yankees. Their catchers are freaking all-stars. Austin Wells and Trevino are just really good behind the plate, and they sometimes hit. The Phillies have enough in their lineup that they can get rid of JT Realmuto. I'm not clamoring that JT's going to make or break this team next year. But real quickly, before we continue, let me get on to some more of these comments real quick. So after Clint said about the Chapman syndrome with Colossae, he also brought up that he blew the save against the Yankees earlier this year. He's just been bad against the Yankees his whole career. Yeah, he has not pitched well against the Yankees. And Clint also just said, of course, that they have his number. Matt also said that he also hates it, but I did tell y'all if it was going to be the Dodgers and Yankees on the show that night. Yeah, you freaking did, Matt. Leave me alone. I know. I kind of figured. Yeah, Matt, I probably wish I would have kept Veerling too at this point, but it is what it is. And Clint said the way I feel about Marsh is how he feels about Andres Gimenez. Oh, yeah, they're great fielders. They just can't hit. And we're in a day of baseball where being a Gold Glover but you can't hit is not good enough. That is true, Matt. We could have Javi Baez on our team.
I was going to say, you got your best catcher option actually could be Danny Jansen.
Okay, so go. Like I said, I'm going, and here's the thing. They have other catchers coming up through their system that they're really high on.
Right.
I'm okay giving Marchand the job and signing a veteran who is at least capable of doing it. And if I have to, I trade for one at the deadline. I don't care. You're not going to re-sign Realmuto. So what's the point? You cannot come into next season with this lineup. Because if you do, you're going to approach Sixers territory.
Well, are you just going to let him go, or are you going to try to trade him? Yeah,
well, that's why. Well, you have to trade. Well, because this year coming up is the last year on his deal anyway, so you have to try to trade him.
Yeah, I was
You
going to
still
say, get what you can for him right now.
there are plenty of teams that would take a shot at JT Realmuto. Trust me. I look, and you think I want to talk? People act like I want to talk about this. I wanted this group to stay together as long as possible. This group brought the greatest time of my life again in baseball back. I hated baseball for 10 years because of the Phillies because I had to. It's hard when you have an emotional attachment to the Phillies like I do because of my family. My grandfather got me into them. The eighth full year I was watching, they won the World Series. That was the greatest moment I ever shared with my grandfather. And to have to watch that team be bad for 10 years, now seeing them back to it, I want this group to stay together as long as they could. But they're clearly not going to be able to get it done because it's getting worse. You lost in the World Series. Last year, you didn't get out of the NLCS, and now you can't get out of the first round. What's next? You're going to get out in the wild card round, or are you going to miss the playoff? This isn't enough. They need to get more starts. They need to get more. They need to strengthen up areas. The bullpen's got pieces leaving. Jeff Hoffman's a free agent. Freaking Carlos Estevez is a free agent. The starting rotation needs at least one, maybe two more. I don't know how much the Rangers. I would look to trade. I wouldn't be surprised if they look to trade Rangers Suarez this winter because of his stamina not being able to go through a full season. What did I tell you, George? I said it was weird that Christopher Sanchez got that in-season deal and Ranger did. I said it from the start. That was very weird to me. They got things that they have to do, and if they have to start selling off some of these high-priced veterans who aren't performing, then I'm sorry, it's that time. I am not here to maximize the 5-year contract of JT Realmuto. I'm here to maximize the 13-year contract that Bryce Harper was signed to and the 11-year deal that Trey Turner was signed to. Those are the two guys that are going to be here the longest. They have to be maximized to their potential, and this group is not it. It's not it. So things have to be moved, and JT may be the first one to start with.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like JT, period, because I actually had him on my fantasy baseball, and I had Posey and him, and it was a nice to fall off from Posey and go right into JT, and I had no problem with it, and it's just like I'm like I think he's got a couple more years before, you're saying it's one more deal, but I think he would be totally fine for one more or at least 2 more years. I mean, the knees, the knee savers do turn around and do work some wonders. So I'd say he's probably got still 2 good years before he has to start pulling off the Buster Posey first base DH deal.
Yeah, I could. I just get concerned over this. And again, I just ask myself do I think they're going to re-sign him next year? And I don't. So if they're not going to re-sign him,
do you move him? Do you move him going into next year then?
Well, if I'm not going to re-sign him at the end of the year, what's the point? I might as well get something for him. That's how I look at it. Yeah, that's how I would. I really like what I've seen out of Rafael Marchand. This team needs to get younger at some positions, and they need to get cheaper. I like what I've seen from the kid, and I'd like to see him get a more expanded role next year. Now, if they want to do what I just suggested, go with JT and Marchand, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I mean, is there a problem with slapping JT over at first, and start showing that he could turn around and pull that off?
Well, where's Bryce play then? Because Bryce isn't going back. They're not putting Bryce Harper back in the outfield.
Well, I'm saying when Bryce goes for his days off, everybody goes to huh?
What's that? What's that?
Oh, they do. You know it's coming.
Bryce Harper literally refuses to take days off. Bryce Harper should have had about a week off in September because of his elbow, and he didn't do it. He only missed time this year because of that hamstring injury he had in June. And by the way, Clint and Matt are talking about how Jose Ramirez knocked the baseball out of Tim Anderson in the chat right now. It's kind of funny, not going to lie. But I don't know where this conversation went. I know Matt brought up JT, and it just kind of went off the rails from there. But back to the two teams that are playing this Friday.
Oh, like I said, that's the whole thing. Is nobody gives a damn outside of those 2 markets. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Also the point. This is also the point of 609 Sports Talk. We can talk about anything. This is the good old thing about it. I'll talk about anything.
I mean, right now they're sitting there going, yeah, we got the two biggest markets, and like I said earlier, it's all for the celebs from basically out of New York and LA to turn around and be seen on TV, and then ta-da! All right, you had your 15 seconds of fame. All right, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I don't want to jump off to another sport because I'm going to have to talk about this on Monday. Did the Knicks forget how to play basketball?
I'm sorry, you're talking about another New York team that stinks. I mean, how many New York
74.
teams got to stink?
The Celtics have 74 points at halftime.
Like I said, how many teams need to stink?
End up having to a nicer group of guys. But no, I will say this. I understand what you're going with the celebrity stuff, but it's still like I do like the fact that we're getting like almost that NBA approach or that NFL approach, like when you think the Super Bowl, right? Mahomes, Brady versus whoever. In basketball, LeBron versus Curry. We're kind of getting that. You don't really get that with baseball because usually it's not who has the better players, it's who's playing the best ball. But in this instance, you're getting the top two guys in the sport, Ohtani and Judge. So in my opinion, I want to ask you this one. In terms of a legacy purpose, who needs this World Series for their legacy more? Is it Ohtani or is it Judge?
Ohtani.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you asked. I'm giving it to you right now.
I agree with
Ohtani
you.
needs it. Ohtani needs it.
Yeah, you're the $700 million man. You got to do it. You got to go out there and perform. Which, by the way, have you seen his splits with men on base compared to batting with the bases empty?
No.
In the postseason, he's batting like 111 with literally no one on. He's batting like 790 with men on base. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of you. I agree with you and Matt because the thing is, with Judge has been here. The problem is with Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge really hasn't had a lot of talent in New York besides himself. The problem with the Yankees was they were really going to hit their peak in 2019 when I thought they had a shit ton of young talent. I thought Gary Sanchez was going to be one of the best catchers in baseball. Found out dude can't freaking catch a ball and the dude can't hit. I thought Gleyber Torres was going to be one of the great middle infielders. Can't field. Miguel Andujar won Rookie of the Year, and the dude forgot how to play baseball after that. I thought the Yankees, Luke Voigt hit 300 for a month, and then he couldn't hit above his weight after that. I thought the Yankees back then had a bunch of young talent around Judge, and then it all just fizzled out. But personally, this is the most talent that Judge has had around him. Like, have you seen the Yankees have been like the second best team in baseball since they moved Gleyber Torres to the leadoff spot. And the only reason that they are second is because the Mets were the best team in baseball when they moved Francisco Lindor to the leadoff spot. But like, this is honestly one of the better Yankee teams that Judge has had, because if you look at the Yankees, all right, so Stan's old. Stan's in his 30s, yes. But you're still going to have a decent rotation next year. Jose Trevino is still a really good catcher, and he's 31. But Austin Wells, who they just brought up this year, 25 years old, had a really strong season. In his first year, 229, 13 homers, 55 RBIs, and he's really good behind the plate. So he's a young catcher. Oswaldo Cabrera, a freaking Gleyber Torres, Anthony Volpe had a really good year. Jazz Chisholm, who they got from the Marlins, he's only 26. Jason Dominguez will be hopefully healthy next year. If they bring back Juan Soto, he's still only 26. Alex Verdugo's only 28. They've actually got like a chance to have a longevity with this group, and it's not a bad group. So, like, if they get guys like Cabrera and Dominguez in the everyday lineup next year, the Yankees could potentially really be like really good again next year. Like, they don't have to go outside of Soto. They don't got to go spend like stupid money. I mean, you're going to spend stupid money on Juan Soto.
Well, they're going to spend the stupid money because it's the Yankees, and everybody wants money. That's the thing. When you go to the Yankees, you're going to get paid. Why? Because it's a big market. You want to get paid. So you want to get your top value. So New York's willing to overspend. I mean, the other issue is once you go there, you kind of, lose your finesse. I mean, just ask Johnny Damon.
Go ask freaking who's the other guy? Go ask Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah, but I mean, Damon's the biggest Yankee flop out of all of it.
No, he's not. They had way
sure.
more. Johnny Damon won a World Series in New York. Okay, Johnny Damon was not there, but a way worse. The Yankees have had worse flops than Johnny Damon.
Yeah, but I still think he is. I still think.
We'll agree to disagree on that. That's fair enough. That's what we do here. We like to debate and we rate it.
I still believe one. It's like, yeah, he left Oakland. I get it.
Who doesn't?
You went to everybody was getting the heck out of Oakland, but he went to Boston. Hey.
So Clint agrees with me. Clint agrees that was Jacoby Ellsbury, and Matt, I believe he was a Yankee. He went A's, Red Sox, Yankees. Then he went to the Tigers. So he was a Tiger after the Yankees. But real quickly,
the Tigers just ended up burying him.
Why you got to do that?
Sorry.
Wasn't he an Indian at some point too?
Was he an Indian?
I think he was an Indian in like 2011.
For a cup of coffee?
Yeah, I think he had a cup of coffee at Progressive. Clint says Ohtani, 50-50 club, MVP, best season possibly ever. He needs this World Series. But he also says he has to perform.
In 2012, he played against the White Sox. Then he was designated for assignment in August. So Cleveland broke him. So Cleveland broke him.
No, at that point, you're 35, 36. What's it matter?
Well, Cleveland still broke him. Just like we break everything we get. Oh, that's right. He was with the Rays, too.
Oh, God, I remember that.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, we're forgetting the team that brought him into the dance. The Kansas City Royals. He was there for 5 years.
Where the hell are you guys? You and Matt are both annoying me right now. Where are you guys getting Johnny Damon flop with the Yankees? You guys are annoying me with this now. Johnny Damon.
We just answered that question, Anthony. We already said Ohtani.
Hey. Johnny Damon.
Damon was with the Royals first. I forgot about that.
Guys. Now, hold on. Johnny Damon's first year with the Yankees in 2006 hit 285 with 24 home runs and 80 RBIs. The next year, 270, 12 home runs, 63 RBIs. He also had 25 stolen bases back-to-back years. 2008, 303, 17 home runs, 71 RBIs, 29 stolen bases. His last year with the Yankees, 24 home runs, 82 RBIs, 282, and he won the World Series. What the hell are you guys getting flopped at? Where are you guys coming up with that?
That last season, he flopped it.
He hit 80 runs and won the World Series.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want a 300 hitter, not a 200 something. Give me a 300 hitter.
Playing in a lineup with A-Rod and Teixeira and Jeter and Switzer and
Which means he should have been hitting a lot more.
He drove in 80 runs and stole 30 bases. That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah. I'm pretty particular when I'm looking at a starting lineup. I need 300 hitters, not 280 hitters. I want 320 and above.
Matt, if Johnny Damon was a bust in New York, then Prince Fielder was a bust in Detroit.
Well,
he wasn't.
Well, yeah, that one's kind of debatable with some Detroit fans. I'm not touching that one. I'm just gonna tell you.
I thought Fielder was a good signing.
That was a 50-50.
But then it was tough on him. But I did like. Oh, look, I know this is baseball, but I got something for you real quick. Browns plans.
Nope. You're not. Nope. You can't.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I already know where this is going. I
No,
already
because
know where this is
look
going.
who's here. Look who's here.
Oh my God. Oh, good Lord.
Breaking news. No, hold, you be quiet. Per Jordan Schultz, the Browns plan to start Jameis Winston at quarterback in Week 8 versus the Ravens. Oh, hi, Adam. How are you? What a perfect time for Mr. Lissinger to come in.
That's because we don't have anybody else right now, and we actually even picked up Bailey Zappi off the Chiefs practice squad.
I love
We
you.
don't have a quarterback. We have no choice but to start Winston. Oh, Adam, your timing is just brutal, dude.
Terrible. Now, hey,
He
don't
did
get mad at
that.
me,
He
Adam.
did that just because he saw you pop in on. Oh my God. Oh,
That's called sports live streaming karma right there. No, Clint, I agree. Jacoby Ellsbury, when he lost his legs with the Yankees, it was over because his whole game was speed. And when he lost his legs, it was over for him. You want to know another decent flop? What about Hanley Ramirez in Boston?
okay. Fair
That
enough.
wasn't that good either. But let's. I think we've covered basically everything. Why don't we just jump in real quick? Last thing of the night. Give me your. I think you said earlier, but give me your prediction one more time. And whoever's watching with us, give your prediction. George, who wins the 2024 World Series and why?
It's like I said, Vegas has got it dotted up there. Turn around and take the Dodgers in the 5. I mean, and like I said, I just wouldn't be. Oh my God, I wouldn't be surprised if Ohtani ends up pitching. I think that'll be the shocking curveball of anything and everything that they pull that stunt off, and the Dodgers look fantastic for it, and they get the international ratings up the wazoo.
Clint's going Dodgers in 6. Matt hopes that neither team wins to cancel the World Series.
No, listen, I can't do another pandemic. No, I'm not even going to go there. Not
Clint
even
says
going to go
long.
there.
Clint says long live Baker.
They delayed the pandemic so they could get the Super Bowl in, dude. And if you think I'm lying, go back and check when the first cases were hit and reported. Okay? You think I'm BSing about that? Go back and check, because they didn't fully immerse that until after the Super Bowl was over. Just saying.
That is true.
But yeah, let's not go there. We don't need that crap right now.
Dodgers win in 6 and all of America is happy. I don't think that's accurate at all. No one will be happy. Matt said whoever wins, America loses. What? Again, I don't understand why.
Dude, we're not talking November 4th here. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Oh, I'm getting canceled.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's November 4th, right? That's November 4th. I don't. I was gonna say that's when that happens. This nightmare will be over by then. Or I'm sorry, November 5th. My bad. November 5th.
Yeah, Matt just said it.
5th.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn, and I'm gonna go with.
Don't say it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Sam,
You don't know what?
Sam,
What?
don't. No, you can't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I am going with the Yankees in 6.
Oh, you did it. Ugh.
Because here's the other thing that you're all forgetting. In what chance do I trust the Dodgers to win a big series that they have yet to do? They have never won it. Get that Mickey Mouse World Series crap in 2020 out of your head. They have never won the big dance when they've needed to. And that's with some of these guys. As good as the Dodgers have been in this postseason, I still don't trust them to win big games. The Yankees have a deeper starting staff. They have a healthier starting staff. I'm going with the Yankees in 6.
And they're out of gas.
Hey, Clint, do me a favor. Send me that messenger. I'm pretty sure we're friends on Facebook. Send me that messenger so I can find it. Because I'll watch that literally like right after I'm done this. Yeah, Clint, send me that message so I have it. I'll watch it later. But no, I'm going to go Yankees in 6. I think Aaron Judge and the Bronx Bombers take back control atop the baseball world. I don't trust the Dodgers to win big games. I don't. They have yet to prove it to me. The Dodgers really got back on the map in baseball in 2013. Remember, they had a couple of years they were just like average. Then they started to spend money again. They made that weird trade with the Red Sox to get Adrian Gonzalez, and they started to pick up again. Ever since then, they've yet to win big games. I don't care about the 2020 World Series. It's the biggest flop I've ever seen.
Okay.
So basically, you won the World Series after playing spring training. That's basically what you did. I'm going with the Yankees in 6. I think the Yankees have more pitching. I think they have. I think they have the better. I think they have more depth of pitching. I just personally think that they have more depth of pitching, and I'm going to go with them here. Like I said, after Flaherty and Yamamoto, I get the Ohtani stuff, but after Yamamoto and Flaherty, it's Walker Buehler and what else? And Walker Buehler hasn't been that good either.
I was going to say,
Adam.
Adam,
you and I are never going to get on the same page about basically anything, except maybe hating Ohio State, which we can always agree on. But
no. Now we get into fighting words.
Which, by the way, next Monday on 609, I got a bone to pick with whoever made the schedule for that week.
You mean the November 2nd? You mean the November 2nd date?
I'm going to keep that for next Monday. But before we get out of here, Georgie, always a pleasure having you on with us. Thank you once again for doing this whole bonus episode.
As much as it pained the both of us to do.
I can always tell baseball.
No, but as far as who's in it versus who we wanted to be in it.
Oh yeah, I want to look. After the Phillies get out, I don't care who's in it. I don't care if the Guardians are in it. I don't care if the Mets are in it. I don't care who's in it. Phillies are out. I don't care.
I was still very surprised that the Mets pulled that off.
I'm not. They were hot. They were playing good ball at the right time.
Well, so is Detroit too. But and I even said, boy, wouldn't it have been interesting if both number 6s would have ended up playing both number 1s? I would have loved to see how that would have worked out.
It would have been interesting.
That would have been real interesting. Yeah.
Silver lining. See, Adam, we can always get somewhere with it. And Clint said, good thing when the Yankees will lose, Stephen A. Smith will cry on TV. Oh, by the way,
that will be so much fun.
I don't know if you guys ever watched them. I cannot tell you how cringy it is for First Take and Colin Cowherd to attempt to cover baseball when they clearly don't watch it. Colin Cowherd literally said that a Phillies-Dodgers World Series makes a lot of sense. Oh, hey, genius. They both play in the same damn league.
I saw that. I was like, oh, my God, you moron. They're both in the National League. I'm like, God, what an idiot.
This is because they're trying to reach a bigger demographic, and they're failing at it. They cover baseball so cringy. That's why I have to do this, because I cover baseball better than both of them, because they're ridiculous.
I saw that, and I was just like, oh, my God, you're an idiot. I'm like, they're both.
They have no idea how to cover baseball.
Moron.
To cover baseball, you actually have to do this thing called watch it. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of that, but yeah, they are just absolutely terrible.
Oh, that was horrible. That was so bad. I mean, it's almost as bad as when Stephen A. Smith is trying to also cover NFL. He gets a little sidetracked. He does. Now there are some funny things he does. But he can get derailed sometimes. That's just Stephen A's fandom. Stephen A's big thing is basketball, and that's where he kind of needs to stay in his lane.
Stephen A. ESPN is turning more into WWE more than we want to admit. It's more be entertainment now than it is actually covering the sport. But who am I to actually say that? But
NBA
Clint also
First Take to have. Oh yeah, Oh, of course.
Oh, God.
Of course. That'll be tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, how Bronny places 2 minutes into tonight's game.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that on Monday. I don't hate myself enough to do that. But anyway, George, as always, thank you for coming on again with me tonight and talking some baseball. So you have the
No
Dodgers
problem.
and you got the Dodgers in 6. I got the
No,
Yankees in
in
6.
5. I got him in
Oh, in
5.
5. I thought
Got
you
him
said
in
5.
5. Clint
And
said 6.
and the
Clint
last thing
went
Clint
6.
does say is the only reason he watches ESPN now is for 30 for 30s. That is true. Those are still pretty good. I'll give him
Yeah.
that. But to everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. Want to give a big shout out, of course, to Anthony, Matt, Clint, yes, even Adam for tuning in with us tonight. I know Adam and I are always the best of friends when it comes to being on shows together, or even just in the comment section. I know we're always the best of friends. But you heard it here from your boys here at 609. George has the Dodgers in 5. I have the Yankees in 6. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Have a safe rest of your week. 609 will be back next Monday. Normal show, talking about all the NFL stuff, all the NBA stuff. I got a Sixers problem to talk about, but I don't want to preview too much into the episode. So thank you all for joining us. For George G, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.